Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to a new week. Monday, Deal It Up Challenge. Let's hop right into it. Keen to get going today. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. We ended up having a semi-busy weekend. We had absolutely nothing planned. And it turned into quite a busy one. And then all of a sudden wasn't busy. Weird. I know that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, but we had visitors on Saturday, which was my mum and my stepdad. So our first prompt today is lace. So I'm just assuming you all know what's going on. If you're new here, just keep watching and you'll get the gist of it pretty quickly. So that sort of took care of Saturday. By the time I did, the quick whip round of the house, putting some stuff away, cleaning, and then they were due to arrive at lunchtime, so I also made lunch for us all. So threw together a quiche and then some muffins and put those in the oven. So we had a lovely quiche for lunch, followed by some fruit salad muffins, so that was fun. And then Sunday we were supposed to be going out for tea with friends, which they'd messaged us on Saturday and invited us, and I was like, yep, that's cool. And we were to take a salad, so hubby went down and bought a lettuce and that sort of stuff, and then we got a message on Sunday morning saying that two of them were sick, so that got cancelled. So it was kind of like it was going to be busy social weekend and then kind of not all of a sudden, and that's quite okay. Sickness happens and it's all good, but it still feels busy for some reason. Maybe because we're not used to having visitors. We very seldom have visitors, so one day of visitors is like ample in our week. But so lovely to see my mum. And she bought me a dress. It's not new, she's been wearing it, but she just bought herself a couple of new dresses, and so she passed this one on to me. It's in beautiful condition, and so I wore it on Sunday to church, and really lovely. I love dresses. I have a real thing for dresses now. I just adore them. So give me a dress, great, I'm not going to say no. And mum and I are about the same size now, so that's okay, let's turn this prompt up. I haven't even told you what that one is. You may not be able to read it. So we've got lace, favourite colour. This one's been coming up a lot. I can't say I'm mad about it. I love my favourite colour. That's why it's my favourite. But it has been coming up a lot. This one could be the curveball in the mix. Something sticky. Something sticky. Interesting prompt, that one. You could go a couple of different ways with it. Right, so if you don't want to make a faux card, then this little pack here will dictate what you make instead. So let's see what that is. Let's go the bottom one. Mini notepad or booklet. Okay, cool. I think I might make one of those as well today. I was thinking I would make the second item, but wasn't going to commit myself at the beginning of the video in case I pulled something that I just didn't feel today. But I think I can manage that one. And I do know you can't really read that. It's very light blue. I need to go back and write over top of it in black. This one I've already done. It was in pale green. Because I've noticed on camera some of them you can't actually see. And like this one is really small writing. So if I hold it up, you might read it. Something sticky. Because these ones were never designed for being on camera way back when I created them. Okay, so if you want to make a faux card, today we are going to make a 9 of spades. That's the card we're going to make today. Okay, so that's all our prompts pulled now. So I'm just going to shift them to the top of my mat here, where I think you can still see them, and I'm going to grab out my base for my faux card, and we're going to do the 9 of spades first. So if you're familiar, you'll know the drill. I like to stencil mine, and I've chosen out a stencil. This one I've stenciled with, looks like Vintage Photo, so that's probably going to come off in the ink that I use. And I think I'm going to go with my Aged Mahogany because it is that beautiful deep browny red, which leans towards my favourite colour of being dark red. So I think this is the closest one in my selection of inks that I have. Brush or something. No, we're going to go with sponge. Sorry, I've just got something in my eye that I'm trying to get rid of and just distracted me there for a moment. Okay, so let's stencil this up for a start, and I'm going to try and hit it fairly lightly because it's the writing side, so I don't want to make it difficult for somebody to write on the back of it. So for those of you who are making faux cards and are intending on to do the whole pack of 52 like I am, what are you going to do with your cards? I'd be interested to know. I know I think it was you, Selena, said you were going to put them on a ring so that you can flip through them. Was it you, Murray, putting them in a little box or something? I can't remember. I'm sorry. Keeping things straight at the moment is difficult. If I've got the names and wrong of who's doing what, I do apologise. But who else is doing them or done some of them, and are you going to use them in journals? Are you going to keep them as like little art journal pieces to look at? I'd be really interested to know. My intention is that eventually I'll be using them in journals, but not until I've completed the whole set, because I really want to be able to see them all together at the end of 52, assuming 52 weeks of making them. Yeah, I think it will be interesting. Now, I like to take, I don't always do it, as you can see by the ink that's left on the stencil, but I do like to, if I have a moment, come in with a wet wipe, so it's wet, and rub the stencil over. Now that's going to clean it up pretty good. As you can see, that inks, even the Vintage Photo that was on there, is coming off pretty well. And it leaves, you probably can't see on there, but the ink goes into the stencil and it leaves the pattern on your drop paper. And it also colours up your wet wipes. So when this dries, obviously it needs a bit more of bits and pieces, but when it dries you have a really pretty coloured wet wipe to use in projects. And just as an example, these are a couple of inky ones from cleaning off stamps that I've created over the weekend. So these aren't super colourful, you know, you can make them a lot more colourful, but they're still, you know, take a strip of that and you can sew it into a ruffle or something, still make some fun texture. So that was just an aside while I was cleaning my stencil. Okay, so we're doing a black suit, the spade, so I need a black ink and a block. And grab out my little spade stamp. I'm stamping mine. You could draw it, print it out and stick it on, whatever you are comfortable with or prefer. Or if you've got stamps, then go ahead and stamp it. Okay, so let's do the 9 first. So I like to do black for the black suits and red for the red suits. Just in my head, that makes it more authentically sort of faux. That's a good one for you, isn't it? Authentically fake, authentically faux. That's funny. But I'm guessing you know what I mean. Right, so that's a 9. Now, just by virtue of the way we stamp this, it's pretty obvious that it's a 9. But if you like, you can like if you were doing a 6 or a 9, come in with a black pen, or you might have a stamp that's just like a straight line, but I'm just going to take a black pen. This is a fine Sharpie, and just draw a straightish, that's not terribly straight, but it will do, line underneath. And this is something they often do on numbered things, so that people know which way up it goes, that it's a 9, not a 6. Okay, so I'm going to do, or have done that. Right, so done our 9, let's do our spade. And I might actually do it under the line, just for something different. Oops, spade didn't want to stick to my stamp. Like so. I get such a kick out of doing this. I think it looks so cool. Whoops, I didn't ink that up very well, but it's fine. It's good as. Right, I'm just going to get that wee clean off. Oh, it doesn't like sticking anymore. There you go. Right, I think that's all for the stamping. So I'll just pop those away. Okay, so onto the back we have favourite colour. Okay. I'm just wondering if I've got anything around me that's different to what I've been using lately. I've been using tissue, which is absolutely fabulous and just perfect. But wondering if I've got anything to hand that instead of using the same thing, I'm going to run out of it eventually. But answer is, I don't think I do. Let's have a look in my scrap bag. It's got a bit of dark red on it. It's got a bit of red. I don't mind whether it's the actual red of that's my favourite, as long as it's kind of leaning towards that direction. So I do realise that you can't see what I'm doing. That's kind of purplish, but I think we could go with that. It's a bit of magazine paper. I think it's close enough. That's another bit of actually book page, not magazine. It's a bit sort of more rust coloured, not quite right, I don't think. It's bringing in a bit more orange, although there's orange on this stamped book page here. Okay, I think that's it for my scrap bag. No. Right. See, I used this napkin last time we pulled my favourite colour or favourite colour prompt and this tissue. I think I'm going to go with the tissue again, but not this napkin, because it's only a couple of weeks since I last used it. But I think this combined with these I'm happy with. So first off, let's start collaging up. I need to put my stamps aside so I've got a bit of room. Bring my glue page over. I'm just going to roughly trim off to length, just so I'm not putting a whole heap of glue where I don't need it. I'll bring this over even further. Oh, getting the lid off my glue stick sometimes is the hardest task. Right. So it's a beautiful day out there today. Quite It's warm, but it's not like super warm. It's just pleasant and quite windy, as is the norm for where I'm from. There's always a wind of some description. Very rare to get a day without any sort of wind. It happens. Whoops, I didn't get that quite covered. Here we go. Pull it down a little. There we go. What was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. This is just a bit of red copy paper that I have doodled on. So we're going to put a strip of that down there. I may need to put something else because I don't know whether the pattern on the box is going to show through the tissue or not. So I might have to put something underneath where I'm putting the tissue. We'll work that one out in a minute. So, favourite colour. What's everybody's favourite colour? I know a few of you like blue. Blue's a very popular favourite colour for a good reason. It's a beautiful colour. Mind you, I think every colour is beautiful apart from maybe grey. But then again, it has its own beauty depending what it's been used for. Right, let's pop this on. I think I'm just yeah, I'm going to have to tear the edge where the red is, but never mind. Stick into my thumb. I haven't seen anyone, I don't think, do green, or have I? I know some of you got multiple favourites, and that's okay too. It gives you the opportunity to mix it up as you feel. Do one favourite colour one day and a different favourite another day. I do like lots of colours. I mean, how can you not like lots of colours? It's just, each has its own unique quality and usefulness. And it's quite funny. I don't know that anybody's ever done this in pink. This challenge doing pink, and I would have thought that pink would be a common favorite color, or maybe that's just like younger girls that like sort of gravitate towards pink. I don't know, prove me wrong. Do the challenge in pink and show me. I dare ya. I dare ya. Show me that pink's your favorite color. That'd be awesome. Right, okay, you can kind of see the pattern of the cat food box underneath, but I don't think it's really a big issue. It's not that easy to read, so I'm just gonna chop roughly around the edges. Like that. Oops, just about threw it off the edge of my desk there. And I'm just going to tear this edge to give it a bit more character. Yeah, cool. Change out my glue page because I don't want my tissue sticking to my glue page. Oops, get rid of that lump under there. That is my card. So in case you don't know, I tend to typically do my faux cards on a cat food box that I've chopped into pieces, and I've gone fairly large for my cards. They are essentially a journal card, so intended for writing, at least, and that's what I want to make these as. But you can make, if you want to do the faux cards, you can make them any size that you choose. You don't have to make them the same as mine. You could make them the same, like the normal size of a playing card, or you could make them mini. Mini, I think, would be really fun to do. But yeah, whatever size you prefer is all good. You could even make them bigger than this. It's entirely up to you. I did try, when I was doing it, keep to the same proportions as a playing card, so that it gave the same kind of appearance, the same sort of feel as a regular playing card. Right, just trimming off all the excess around the edges here, tidy it up so I can see what I've got, what I'm working with. And de-scrapifying my scissors at the same time. Right, lid on the glue stick, sip of my tea, and let's go to the next stage. I do believe that the last time we had favourite colour, we also had lace. Seems very strange that I'm grabbing out similar prompts all the time, but it is, I promise, entirely random. So not sure what's going on there, but I don't know, maybe the stars are just aligning. Right, something sticky. So a couple of options here. You can go with an image of something sticky. So on this card here, I don't know if you can see that very well, as an image of a jar of honey. So you could go with an image of something that's sticky, or you could use washi tape, sellotape, packing tape, glue. I don't know how you would use glue that's not just like hidden under something, because like obviously I've used glue for the collage, but maybe you could do like a hot glue something and then glue that on as your something sticky. It could be a sticker. So you've got options there. I don't envisage that you'll end up with something that is sticky, permanently sticky, you know, and like grabbing dust and lint and all that sort of stuff. In my world, it would be cat hair. It could be like a Velcro dot. You might attach something with a Velcro dot that's also sticky in a different way. I'm just wondering whether I've got an image in this children's book that is of something sticky. I'm pretty sure there's like some honey or something in here. Let's just have a wee look. Bearing in mind, I also need to do something for the mini notebook or booklet. So I need two things. Candy floss. Candy floss is sticky, and it has red and white striped cone packet. I'm not sure what you call it, what candy floss comes in, but I might cut that out. That might fit on like a mini notepad. So grab that one out in case we want to use it. I want something larger for this. Got a big bee there, but that's the wrong part of the process for honey. Icing on the cake could work, but not kind of where I was heading. You can see there's starting to be so many holes in this book. I just love the illustrations. It's pretty fun book, pretty awesome book. Right, so nothing that way, I don't think. Just flicking through pretty quickly. I don't want to take too much time, but there might be something right at the back because I started partway through. Ice cream could be sticky. If you drip it down here and then it dries, that can be sticky, but again, not really what I had in mind. Dropped ice cream. Fruit. All of these things, you know, could come under the sticky category. More ice creams. Lots of ice creams in this book. I think there's beehives. I thought there was images of honey or honey pots or something. But not. Not having much joy. While I'm flicking through, I'm busy trying to think what else that's around me that I could grab to find something that might work. I mean, I could always resort to a sticker. I think there's some bees, but I think we're back to where we started pretty much. Yeah. Yep, so no, didn't find what I was after. Don't think there's anything in this one, but yeah, no, there's not going to be anything in that one. I've just tried this one as well. This has actually got stickers in it, so I could resort to one of the stickers. Very cute, this one too. It's got some really cute animals. But there might be something sticky in here besides the sticker. Oh, what about this, like, monkey? I was like, what animal is that? It's a monkey going by the tail with all the sticky icing everywhere. Might work. So some stickers. A lot of them have already been placed by whatever child owned this book before I found it in the junk store. But then there's pages where there's lots of stickers still on their backing, which are quite fun. Quite a lot of stickers there. Have we got anything else that might work for sticky? No. So this one would be about it for this book. Would it fit? Almost, actually. Almost. I think I'm going to go with it, you know. Going to lose Bunny on the other side. That's okay. I can save the stars. Right, let's get to cutting. Because I feel like we've spent long enough searching. Oh, I could use this, just this cake with the spilt icing out of the spoon. That would take less time to cut. And we can layer it up with things. So let's go with this, just being the shortest route to completing it. Excuse me. Got a little croaky there. I did have a sore throat this morning. I hope I'm not getting anything. But I also woke up with my mouth resting on my hand, and I've taken a bit of skin off my knuckle with my tooth. Every now and then that happens, where I wake up and my tooth has been resting against a part of my hand and has actually cut away some of the skin. It's very weird. So maybe it's just a sign that I had my mouth open during the night that gave me a little bit of a sore throat. It's probably more than likely that's the case, in which case there's, you know, not a case of being sick, it's just a case of breathing with my mouth open. And you really needed to know that, didn't you? I'm sure you did, somewhere in some universe need to know that. But if you didn't, well, you do now. Right, cutting around this little globule of spilt icing that I am sure would be very, very sticky. Just imagine kids' hands when they've been icing a cake and get very, very sticky. I'm not going to worry about the wee splashy bit out. I'm just going to go for the main bit. Almost there. This is a sticker on top of the cake, and the child who put it is not quite lined properly, so it sticks out the side, and you can see some of the little marking underneath of where to place the sticker. It's all fine. It's not actually too bad. Oh Oh, excuse me. Right, I think I want some book page or something similar. Got this triangle bit. Can we do something with that? Talks about trenches and machine guns. I'm just actually going to bin that scrap rather than worry about that. This is The Ugly Duckling out of a children's book, so this should be fairly safe. Take off the blank bits-ish. I know we've already got book page down there, but that's stamped. So, oh, I like that. Okay. Just wondering, for lace, do I want to put a big piece like this is off a lace curtain? Put a big bit over it, or do I just want to trim with lace? Ooh, I actually like it. Pretty much covering most of it. I think I'll cut it slightly smaller. And I don't really want it square. I want it sort of funny shaped. So, what's that look like? Let's kind of give it a bit more shape. And maybe a bit more up here, maybe a little rounded sort of, bit of the little fragments there. I think that's fun. Okay. Oh, that coughing made my nose run. I'm a weird person. Why would coughing make your nose run? Well, it does to me. Sneezing makes my nose run. Coughing makes my nose run. Cold makes my nose run. It's just like so bizarre. Right, so just going to use a bit of my alcohol glue here to, if it's going to come, here we go, to glue down my lace. And I'm not going to cover it totally, I'm just going to kind of hit it in spots where the pattern's a bit denser, sort of around the edges. Shouldn't be doing this on top of my card because it's going to go through, which is silly of me. Never mind. Yep, getting all stuck up. Gluing it to myself, which is not the aim of the game. There we go. Did manage to get some glue up the top there. Maybe we might have to put a little label or something there to cover that over. Right, I think I should be okay to go with tacky glue. Hopefully, we'll give it a go. Put a good amount on so it kind of goes through the lace to the paper behind and sticks it all together, is my hope. It's just putting a bit more on than I would normally. And let's push that down. Maybe I'll go in from the other side, give it a good rub down. give it a good massage, and then clean up the glue that's transferred to my mat. I only just cleaned it the other day, and it's not easy to clean because it's got a rough surface, so things really kind of, you can't scrape it because you just run into that texture. But anyway, more things that you don't really need to know. Okay, let's pop our cake on there with its dripping icing. That's our something sticky. Cool, it's fun. This would be good in a like a children's journal or a baking journal, cooking journal, something like that. Would be quite cute. Okay, I'm thinking some sort of label to cover this little glue splodge, because it's, you know, it's clear but it's shiny. Or maybe we could use a butterfly. Yeah, let's go with a butterfly. I think that's cute. I'm not going to ink around it. Normally I would, but I'm not. I will ink around the outside of the card, front and back, but I will do that off camera because I need to get on to the mini notepad or booklet and make that, so we won't spend the time inking around this. But the thumbnail for the video will it will be inked in the photo. So just going to put, I'm just using tacky glue because it's open. Get this bit at the top here, so I don't want it flapping around at the top there. Okay, so I think we are done with the faux card. So we have lace, something sticky, favorite color, and the 9 of spades. So that one's done. Okay, so now I need to do the same thing, but just as a mini notepad or booklet. And when I say the same thing, the same prompts. So let's just clear the decks here for a little bit. I'll cut this out now. I don't know whether it translates as what it is, but we're going with it because it's a nice little image that I think I can fit onto our little mini notepad or booklet. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet, a notepad or a booklet. I'm thinking maybe booklet, because I think the last couple of times we've had that particular prompt I have made a notepad, so maybe a booklet today. So I'm also thinking while I'm doing this as to what I'm going to use as my cover for my booklet. I think maybe 6x6 paper might be good, to see if I can get into my drawer where my 6x6 papers are down beside me. It's a terrible habit, but I stack things up in front of it, and then when I want to get in the drawer I've got to move everything, which is horribly inconvenient when I'm on camera. But I just don't have much room. Right, let's see if I've got something that kind of leans towards my favourite colour. I don't want to take too long, so I'm just going to kind of do a little sort of flick through. Pretty sure there's not anything in that one. That's all more neutrals and botanicals. Guess that one could be possible. That's all yellows and greens. This one maybe. That one. What about this one? Last page in the pad. So let's use that as our base. Right, and I don't want to make it this big. Oh, darn it. I moved my guillotine away from my desk so my stepfather could sit in my chair at my desk here, because it's higher and more comfortable for him and easier to get in and out of. And after they left, I didn't bring my guillotine back to where it normally lives. So I'm going to go old school here, as in how I used to do it, and use my knife. Just goes to show me how used to having the little guillotine I've grown, that I just reach for it and it's like, I went to reach for it and it's like, where is it? Okay, and probably don't need it that wide, so we're just going to choose a width, and I'll just chop it with scissors. So okay, so that's going to be a good size. So we need some papers for my little booklet. So I'm going into my neutral scrap bag here. Is it going to be... it's not really tall enough, is it? Oops. Pull something out and it all comes out. That we could work with. That we could do. That's coffee dyed note paper. Bit of pharmacy bag. And a bit of, I don't know, cream paper of some description. I'm guessing that was out of a book, like a front page or something, not sure. But that's probably enough. We don't need a heap of papers. We could possibly put in one of these smaller bits. They don't all have to be the same size. Here's my base, there it is. So this is already folded in half, and I don't mind the holes there. I think it adds a bit of character. I really wish I had my guillotine right now. But never mind, we will just... I can rip this actually. It doesn't need to be cut, I can just tear it. Easy peasy. Keep it simple. So just make sure I've cut that small enough so it doesn't poke out the cover. Yep, that's all good. So just going to make a cute little mini booklet that can be tucked into a pocket, an envelope in a journal, or a tuck spot, something like that. You know the drill. Probably only need 3 pages because that's going to give us 12 pages, 12 sides to write on. So probably just going to do 3. That's writable, so I don't care about having that pattern on there. I think that'll work fine. It's got a bit of a chink there, so I'm just going to trim that down a bit. It's not going to be straight. She'll be fine. That's such a Kiwi thing. Us Kiwis are well known for saying, she'll be right, mate. She'll be right. It's that sort of like, yeah, it'll work out. It'll be okay. It's not always a good thing. Sort of encourages people to not process their feelings. They're like, oh, it'll be, you know, it'll be fine. It'll be okay. Instead of actually dealing with whatever trauma or problem or issue. So yeah, sounds like an okay thing, and it can be, but it also can prove not to be. Okay, so we've got our little bit of pharmacy bag, we've got our little whatever cream paper that is, and our lined paper. So that's super cute, and that can just go in there. Can I fit my stapler in? Oh, you know, I can. I was going to show you a trick in case you can't fit your stapler in. I have done it before, the little trick, but I can actually fit this. So I'm just trying to line up the crease with the little groove in the end where the staple comes out, which is quite tricky to do, but close enough is good enough. You know, it's only a little mini notebook. It's not a masterpiece in itself. Just something cute and usable. And if it really does go wonky, you can either fold it so that it still folds well enough, or you can take the staples out and try again. So I've gone off down the bottom here. I'm just going to fold it over. It will still work, and just force it to lie flat. So it will make the pages wonky because one of the staples is offline, but you know, it still functions. And you don't really lose any writing space. Just a sweet little notebook. But even with that staple off, it's good to go. Okay, so that's our little booklet constructed. So now let's decorate it up. So we've got our something sticky. We've got favourite colour, this red here. Do we want it to add a little tissue or something? Just to emphasise that. Let's just see. Maybe not quite that much. Maybe actually want to do it up in that corner. Yeah, let's do it up in that corner for something different. And we need a little, just a little snippet of lace to put on it in some fashion. We could put it over the spine actually. Do lace down the spine, it would cover over the misaligned staples. That would be an idea. Did I put that on? Yep, I did actually. It's not overhanging at all. Amazing. Okay, we've got our little sticky candy floss there. Little scrap of book page. Just a little bit, I think. Okay, got a little bit of dictionary. Actually, I might put it that way. I don't mind if it goes sideways. In fact, do we want to like... No, I don't. I don't want to put it diagonally. That's just going a tad too far, even for me. I just had a sudden heart-stopping moment. Did I push record? Phew, yes I did. Okay, that there, and our little candy floss. I mean, whether it looks like candy floss or not, maybe it looks like ice cream, but ice cream still sticky, so I think it still works. And it doesn't really matter. It's just cute. And we know we've met the prompt. Oops, how did I end up with glue on my mat down there? That is ridiculous. Ugh, sticky. Get that off with a wet wipe before it adheres to this textured mat. And I need to now clean this because it's got the glue on it as well. I'm getting into all sorts of mess here today. Right. So we need lace, and I'm thinking it's getting a bit sticky. Thinking a butterfly on this as well, and fortunately I did not put my container away, and I've managed to get glue there. That's all right, managed to take care of that. So here's a little blue butterfly. It's kind of a bit big, isn't it? It's the same size as the candy floss, which in reality it might be. So I'm not going to put a butterfly. We might go for a word label number. Let's try number. I think I've got some in that dark, in the aged mahogany somewhere. If I can find one. Maybe not. This one's red with purple. Oh, here we go. Here's one with red and blue. Do have a glue streak, but I'm just going to ignore it. It should dry okay, hopefully. It's the glue stick as opposed to the other shiny bit I had, which was the alcohol glue. Yeah, let's put that on there, and I'm just going to save myself all the gluey strife by using tacky glue. It looks watery. I think I need to shake my little glue bottle, mix up the contents a little. It's been sitting for a couple of days, and I think it's got a bit separated out with the changing temperatures. Okay, lace is the final thing. Is that too wide? It is too wide. Did that work? No. I mean, it would have been okay. Yellow, no. What about this one? Kind of wishing I'd put this over a bit now. But I guess it doesn't matter, because if I don't wrap it around the spine, it goes over the picture a little bit. I think we can deal with that, or we could put it on the... No, don't like that. I want it on the spine, or just alongside the spine. I could wrap it around if I chose, you know, the right bit of lace, but I'm not going to. Come on, cut through. There we go. I'm just going to pop it along here, and yes, it will go over the candy floss, but that's okay. It's still going to disguise this staple that's not quite in the right place. And I think I need to get under those little scallopy bits. Didn't put glue out far enough. go. There we go. That is done. So let's review, make sure that we've hit all the prompts. I've got stuff everywhere on my desk. Sign of productivity, I guess. Okay, so our prompts. Bring them back. So we have a mini notebook, notepad or booklet. And we have our faux card, the 9 of Spades. So that's those. Sorry guys, I'm busy fluffing around here. Just trying to make sure you can see everything. Okay, so in these we have lace. Lace. Favourite colour, the deep red. And something sticky, we have a cake with icing and candy floss. Or ice cream, if that's what you see in that image. So that's what I've made for today's Deal It Up Challenge, number 66, I believe. Hope you found it fun. I hope you found it inspiring. I hope you give it a go. It is a lot of fun just taking random prompts and seeing where it leads you. Hopefully it leads you into a good place and some fun ephemera. Take care, my friends. I will be back tomorrow with Trashcraft Tuesday. I hope to see you then. Take care.